Without further ado, it's 7:01. My name is Frank Sanchez. I'm the principal here at Columbia High School. It's my pleasure to introduce um, our counseling department. We'll start off with our director of counseling, Dr. Jen Antone. We're lucky to have her. Jen, Dr. Antone started just this summer in July, and it's been a great uh, um, start with her and with everything she knows about counseling. And let's start off with Dr. Antone.
Well, good evening, parents. It is such a pleasure.
I can't hear you, Dr. Antone.
Oh, excuse me. Can you hear me now? Okay, wonderful. Good evening, parents. Thank you so much for joining us for our sophomore parent night brought to you by the Columbia High School Counseling Department. I just want to take just a quick moment to introduce our very talented and experienced counselors we have with us tonight, Ms. Jenny McDowell and Mr. Brian Clyburn. And we are going to be sharing all kinds of important aspects of sophomore year. Families, I just want to share that sophomore year is really about building confidence, exploring interests, and laying the groundwork for your children's future choices. We like to think about freshman year as a time of orientation, and sophomore year is really about that meaningful learning, figuring out who we want to be, and positive decision making. So this is the year to encourage initiative and balance, and our students discovering who they want to become. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and start our slideshow. I believe we have enabled the chat. I took that one off of you, Mr. Sanchez. I figured out how to do it in the 11th hour there. And so we are going to go ahead and start the slideshow in just a moment. So parents, if any questions come to mind, our incredible counseling team and Mr. Sanchez will be fielding those questions in real time. Anything that we did not get a chance to answer, sometimes questions come in that may be a little bit tough to reduce in a chat message. We will follow up. Yes, we will get all of that information out. Just give us just a quick moment, and we are going to put all of that into the chat for you. All right. So once again, a warm welcome, parents, guardians, family members of the class of 2028. I know it's hard to believe how quickly time goes. Go ahead. Okay. So we want to just do a quick PSA on Columbia HSA because it is such a phenomenal resource for our students and families. Their website can be found on the slide, also on, I believe we have them linked in our own website. And of course, the weekly blasts to keep you up to date on all of the news that they bring to you. The membership dues for Columbia HSA go towards many, many worthy endeavors that center the needs of our students, including Cougar Cares, the food truck events, and even some staff appreciation activities. Be sure to sign up for the e-blast if you have not already received them. So just a quick overview about HSA, including the weekly newsletters. and Cougar Cares. There are also Midnight Madness events and also some volunteer opportunities. Everyone is a member of the CHS HSA. And here are some ways to connect with HSA if you haven't done so already, because I think it's an incredible resource. So please make sure that you take advantage of that. And thank you, Ms. McDowell, for putting all of that into the chat. Appreciate you. Yeah, so sophomore year is a really pivotal year. It's kind of getting us ready for junior year, where we're beginning to deepen some of those academic foundations. Your sophomores are building skills that will carry them to that more advanced coursework, college and career planning, and leadership roles. This is a time when students are strengthening their executive functioning, practicing some of that all important time management skills that we all need, myself included, study habits, and also advocating for themselves, learning how to ask for help when they need it. So, families, we are trying to bring you a wonderful CHS counseling website. We've done some work on this website, and we hope that you visit us and take advantage of all of the information on there that will help anchor you through these 4 years at Columbia High School. Please give us feedback if there is something that you can't find on the website. Drop me an email and we will make sure that we make it a little bit more user friendly, because that's what the website is for. It's for your students and for you. All right. Power School questions. Power School parents have the ability to access Parent Portal, and students have their own Power School credentials. So if your children need a little bit of help with recovering their passwords, we have a phenomenal a person in the library, staff member in the library, Miss Anderson, who can assist them. She's been doing a fantastic job troubleshooting with for students. And then parents, if you need help, you can access that some help through Parent Portal help at somsd.k12.nj.us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my colleague, who's going to tell us a little bit more about Cougar Cares. Okay, I'll go ahead. Are you good, Miss McDowell?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. I just had to make sure that I was able to turn on my mic. Okay, just give me a second. And let's go back to the slideshow. Okay, so again, this is Mr. Clyburn. I'm so happy to be with everyone this evening. One of the things that I really appreciate about this community is that we really do a great job of taking care of our own. We come from a diverse community. That diversity obviously includes many things, but one of them is also the ability to be able to provide for oneself. And we have a couple of things that we're able to do as a part of the Cougar Cares program. So some of the things that Cougar Cares does is it provides assistance for families that might be in need through local food pantries and gift cards and other things that we might be able to do to help students. One of the things I also appreciate about the Cougar Cares program is that we stock a kind of like a snack pantry where students can come and they can grab healthy snacks at the beginning and end of the day if they need. One of the things that I'm also very happy to promote is that no senior is left behind during the end of the year when all the great festivities are taking place, whether it's if they need help with the prom, cap and gown, yearbook, like all those end of the year festivities, we offer assistance for. Um, and we have a Cougar Cares page on our district website, which I hope that you'll check out. And if you would like to donate to support Cougar Cares, there's a link there also that will allow you to be able to do that. Every bit helps. And again, such a wonderful, wonderful thing that we do here. I've been in other places, and this is by far one of the best districts I've been in terms of being able to help our students. So, what do our counselors do? I think this is a great question because we often do a lot behind the scenes, but sometimes because we're doing so much behind the scenes, we may not necessarily, or folks may not understand exactly what it is that we do. So, this is kind of like pulling back the curtain a little bit. So, one of the things that we do is we offer support in the way of assisting students in um, individual student planning. So, we meet with students to kind of map out their academic future at Columbia High School. We assist them with scheduling and really taking a look at the things that they're interested in and the things that they want to maybe step out of their comfort zone to do. And so we help them to really navigate the advising process, the scheduling process. We do college and career counseling. We understand that students come from a wide variety of backgrounds and different thoughts, and they have different goals. And so it's not a one size fits all approach. We really try to work with each student individually to help them figure out what it is that they want to pursue and the best way for them to do that. Obviously, in a school of our size, many different things, life happens, and sometimes with those things, there could be students who might be in crisis. And one of the things that we do is we try to, because it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If the student's needs aren't being met, we try to um, they may have difficulty performing in school. So we meet with them if they're having, you know, issues that are going on outside of school, issues with friend groups. We really try to meet with them, talk with them, give them an opportunity to vent and do some problem solving. So that way, those issues aren't having such a great impact, on their education and what they're doing at Columbia. And then, sometimes there might be situations where we might need to um, help them with a higher level of care, whether that's academically or emotionally. And so we do referrals out sometimes to other stakeholders in the community that might be able to assist us. And academically, we have other things in place for students that might need additional assistance, whether it's in the way of um, an INRS plan for students who might not be performing up to their potential in class, but may need some scaffolding and some assistance with some of those things. There are students who may have health or social emotional issues that might be getting in the way. And so we try to provide plans and support in the way of 504 plans and other types of assistance. One of the main things that we like to impress upon you is like this is a team effort, and it's us in conjunction with your student and with you and other stakeholders to make sure that students are doing as well as they can possibly do. And we certainly encourage you and welcome you to advocate for your student. And I would take it a step further in that in their sophomore year, we really want to try to get students to begin to advocate for themselves. Um, One of the other things that we offer as a extension of the counseling office is what we call our counseling annex. And our counseling annex is a suite of support services that assist academically and emotionally as well. So part of the counseling annex services that we offer are achieve and slam tutoring. One of the things I can say and having colleagues in other districts across this area is that we offer a lot of academic support in the way of achieve tutoring, where students can have a peer tutor to assist them in subjects that they might be having trouble with, or with the slam lab, where we may have teachers who are doing duty periods during lunch periods where students can come down and they can ask questions about a particular subject that they might have issues with. We have interns who are generally social work or school counseling grad students who are doing their field work here at Columbia High School, and they are assisting students in a lot of the same ways that counselors might be able to do that, but because they are, for the most part, working directly with students, and they don't have to do some of the other administrative tasks that counselors may have to do. They're able to meet a little bit more consistently, one-to-one or in small groups with students. And the other thing that we have is something called Wellness Wednesday, where there's a rotation of different types of activities that are designed to promote wellness and social emotional health within our school community, and these are things that students can drop in on and participate in. One of the other things that we have is something called the Loft, which is a counseling service that is part of the school district, and that we contract them to assist students, again, who may need some short-term counseling, but they also offer other things in the way of support, such as the homework club. They do job career, like job placement, and they assist with resumes. They do game nights, they do trips. So again, these are all wonderful services that our school offers, and I'm very proud to be able to tell you about those. Okay, I believe that I will be turning this over to Ms. McDowell, who will talk about clubs and activities and other things after this.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Miss McDowell. I'm one of the 10th through 12th grade counselors. I'm excited to meet all of you. The clubs and activities at Columbia are amazing. We also offer the opportunity for children to be supported in everything from being part of our beautiful Guild Script organization, which has been around for many years, to our Columbia newspaper, as well as different clubs and activities based on different programs that the students hope to get into as they're older. We have a phenomenal robotics club. Our United Nations is amazing and goes throughout the tri-state area competing. There are some amazing clubs and activities. So we would love for your children to get involved in this. We know it's super important for them to have social outside of school, and this is one of the exciting ways that they can do that.
Miss McDowell, I believe you're muted somehow.
Am I back?
You're
Yes.
back.
Okay. So we talk about post-high school options with your students. We'll meet with them and we will meet with you twice in what is called junior and senior meetings. In our junior meetings, we basically plan those next steps. We do them in the spring of junior year, so students can find out the next steps for their senior year, so they know how to take the SATs, how to visit colleges, how to create their activity spreadsheet. We have tons of options for kids. We have 4-year college, obviously. Some kids do go to 2-year colleges. We definitely recommend Union County, and Raritan Valley is now ranked the #1 junior college in America, which is super exciting and quite close. They even have dormitories. We have some students that begin work and do a gap year. And we have some great connections to several trade schools in the area. So no matter what your child's goal is, we're excited to work with you as a team and make sure that they have a plan past Columbia. One of the things we're most proud of is our college and career fair. We do that every spring. We have over 80 colleges and some reps from organizations like Human Resources, the fire department, police departments, and EMT to give your children so many options, as well as cosmetology schools, as well as Rutgers and the University of Maryland and other major institutions, to give your students the opportunity to meet college reps, to see if the school has the energy that they would like, and just we try to bring school as close to the students as possible. As well, in their junior and senior year, we allow them to go to campus meetings with college reps. We do about 50 of them a year, and it gives the students the opportunity to meet with college reps ask questions. They'll probably come back with a lot of ideas for you. It's a really exciting time. Right. Planning. So your graduation requirements for your students. All of your students have now taken 2 years of language and 2 years. They're in their second year of a language. They're in their second year of gym. They're in their third year of math, as well as their second year of math and second year of science. Math, science, and social studies are only required for 3 years, but we'd love to have them do 4. A lot of our kids do. With AP Science programs, we have AP Physics, AP Biology, AP Chemistry. Some students do it with AP Statistics or our Social Studies AP Gov or AP Euro. 1 year is required of Columbia for world language. Visual arts, 1 year as well. 1 year of 21st century, and 2.5 credits of financial literacy. Now, some of you may have received the email where you could do financial literacy online. You can also do it in school. Along with electives, it will have your student reach 120 credits, which is required by the state of New Jersey to show a breadth of knowledge. And I'll send it back over to Brian.
Okay, so moving ahead and trying to figure out grade progression here at Columbia High School. So in order for students to proceed to the next grade, they should be earning 30 credits a year. So by the time that this year is over, students should be at 60 credits to be considered a junior. Most of our students are in 1 through 8 period days for 35 credits. And for the most part, the 9th period is a conference period for students to get support on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. There might be times where a student might need to go to summer school or repeat a course. And if that becomes something that comes to pass, then it's important because it helps students to be able to maintain their academic progress and be on track for graduation. So planning ahead to next year. So as a 11th grade student, in my opinion, 11th grade tends to be one of the more fun years because a lot more opportunities open up for our students. So typical schedule is they will take all their core classes. So they will take English and they will take math and they will take science and they will take history. They obviously have some choices. So students can once again choose their level of rigor, their rigor, and so that would be, they can take academic English or honors English. They can, at this point, they will be able to take an AP English class if they want to. They'll be also able to choose their rigor in the other core classes. Health and phys ed is a 4-year requirement, so that's another thing that students will do. They will be able to take a 3rd year of world language if they would like, and in some cases, particularly for students who might be interested in applying to some of our more competitive schools, some of those schools might recommend 3 or 4 years of a language. So it really depends. But these are conversations that we start to have with your students. The other slot usually would be for electives, and it could be electives to fulfill whatever requirements that students may have left, whether it's financial literacy or their 21st century credits or their visual arts credits. But students will hopefully choose obviously classes that are going to help them fulfill requirements, but we also want them to really pay attention to things that they might be interested in, things that they might be able to step outside of their comfort zone and to take if they haven't had the opportunity to do that before. Another thing that we'll talk about, particularly as we move into junior year, is the transcript. So for students who are looking to apply to colleges and universities, the transcript is one of the things that schools use as a part of their holistic process to determine admissibility for a student into their college or institution. So as a sophomore, we really want students to begin to take more ownership for their learning. And so that means having a good routine in terms of getting homework done, making sure that the devices are away or at least not at arm's length, and maybe having the same time every day, whether it's after activities or sports or right when they come home, whatever works for them, but to be on a schedule. Um, and we want to make sure that students are going to conference periods when they need help, or they're taken part in any of our other academic support services, whether it's Achieve Tutoring or whether it's the SLAM Lab, because colleges are going to, they're not necessarily going to wait until junior and senior year to look at the students' grades. It starts as soon as students are in ninth grade, and they obviously are going to look for they're going to look for rigor, but also going to look for upward trends and things like that. So the transcript is important, and we want to make sure that students are becoming more responsible for their learning as they enter through, junior and senior year. Um, and one more thought about GPA is that very quickly, our GPA scale is listed here. And so generally, our academic classes are weighted a little bit differently than our non-academic classes. So classes like their core classes, English, math, science, social studies, language classes are weighted depending on whether it's an academic um, level of rigor or an honors level of rigor or an AP um, level of rigor. And then classes that are unweighted usually are classes like electives, whether it's in the visual and performing arts like drawing or design, or computer graphics, the first one, or IBOT, or some other classes like that. So um, GPA is important, um, and we just want to make sure that students are becoming more responsible for their own learning. Um, but obviously, taking things that they can handle, um, looking at their own skills and abilities, and the amount of time that they are interested in putting into some of the classes that they're taking. And so I am going to turn it over back to Ms. McDowell, who will talk about planning ahead. Actually, no, I'm going to finish planning ahead in GPA. And then we'll go to Ms. McDowell. So GPA is updated at the end of each school year and is based on final grade. So that's why we notice when you look at the report card, the GPA doesn't go up until the end of the year. And then what counts more for colleges is the weighted GPA, because the weighted GPA considers core subjects and also the level of rigor. And so that's how the GPA is used, and that's why we use the weighted GPA. And now I would turn it over to Ms. McDowell.
We just like to keep in mind that you are more than your GPA, and your students are way more important to us than their GPA. We want you, and that's why we talk about in the beginning their activities and opportunities, and we talk about the ability for them to get achieve and support, because we want you to recognize that they are more than their GPA.
Miss McDowell, you're muted somehow.
It mutes every time the slide changes. It's so weird.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I think I'm touching something. So, this is the year where your child will consider VOTEC. VOTEC has some amazing programming and electricians. They have programming for medical support. They have a program for baking. I had a student that became a baker through the program. So VOTEC is also an option. It's half day, so the student will still remain enrolled at Columbia. We'd love for you to consider online personal finance for the spring if you haven't already. As Mr. Sanchez says, we will take the PSATs in the spring. It will not be the National Merit PSATs. The National Merit PSATs are your junior year PSATs. But we do give our kids a practice run because we love them at Columbia. We want them to have every opportunity to be successful. Mom and dad, you do not need to register them for the PSATs. It is automatically done by the school. Math advancement is an option for children over the summer if your child would like to get ahead in a certain subject. Math advancement is only offered, though, for classes that are mandatory for graduation. So algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. So your child can spend the summer a few weeks taking an accelerated course so that they can skip ahead. Some of my students have come in as taking algebra their freshman year, they took geometry their sophomore year, and sophomore summer they took algebra 2, so that they can take pre-calculus their junior year and calculus their senior year. So you want to really keep in mind a timeline of the courses that you're selecting. You want to keep a timeline going so that all of your students are aware of all the things necessary for them to graduate. Remember, if they're starting off really strong in the STEM, but they're also a child who's in the chorus, and they're going to go into science and research, we want to make sure they get that practical art and things of that sort. The PSATs 10 will be offered in March of 2026. That is not the merit scholarship PSAT. That will happen in their junior year in October. So our juniors will be taking that in a few days. NJSLA is rare for students, but some students will take it. Your child will be notified if they are. And now I'm going to turn it back to Dr. A.
Thanks, Ms. McDowell. So we do not want you to get overwhelmed with all of this. Step by step, we will make sure that we get your child there. Whatever you need, we've got you. So if you are left with a few questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us in the counseling department. Please also remember that we are equally committed to their academic excellence as we are their student wellness, their ability to develop that resiliency and to take care of themselves. Mental health matters. And that is another message we want to make sure that we get across. Mr. Clyburn and Ms. McDowell's went over an overview of many of the resources that we have at Columbia High School. It all starts with your counselor. Please do not hesitate to visit us in counseling if you need any assistance whatsoever. If your child is struggling in classes, struggling emotionally, please reach out to us, because we will definitely be able to put in some supports and interventions. Mr. Sanchez, do you have anything you want to share? I want to take a quick moment to see if there's any questions from the chat that we can answer in real time.
It looks like there's a lot of questions, not questions, I mean, there were a few questions about SCORE and when sophomores can have access to SCORE.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, Mr. Clyburn, do you want to take that?
Sure. Repeat the question one more time. I was making sure.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. When do we give students access to SCORE, and can we start that in the next few weeks?
So I believe that we normally, and Ms. McDowell, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe sophomore year, like right sort of like around the end of Q1 or so, we start to roll some of those other things out so that students have access to SCORE. And then they have some time to sort of just, navigate it for a little while. So the great thing about SCORE is it's very user friendly. It was much more user friendly than Naviance when we had it. So they'll have some time to be able to explore it on their own, and then we'll meet with students when they're juniors to really go through it and talk about how to use it a little bit more effectively.
Yeah, and I believe we probably will do a little bit with like a sophomore in the spring. We'll do an activity with them because we're going to start with a career, what's it called? Like a career inventory with them.
Yes, like an interest inventory that's aligned to career exploration and awareness, which is, really just building that readiness for junior year.
Yeah, and so parents are asking, what is SCORE? And I think that's an interesting question. So SCORE is our online platform. Some districts use Naviance, many districts use SCORE. So basically what it is a platform that they will really be using junior and senior year as their way of communicating with colleges. So it's a way of sending your college apps, and the counselors use it to put the recommendations. Teachers use it to put up their recommendations. But it also, when we say like junior year as well as senior year, it offers a lot of different programs. One of the favorite ones is a scattergram that you can use to say, all right, here's what my SAT score is or my PSAT scores. Here's what my GPA is. What have students historically in this district, right, with the similar GPA and the similar PSAT scores? What colleges did they get into? And things like that. I think a lot that's probably the most like, sexy aspect of it, or part of it. I get a lot of feedback from parents that they enjoy, Dr. Antone, if you can really explain more score what it really is, but that's what I always feel like is the nuts and bolts of it.
Absolutely. Just the idea of being able to provide more resources at our students' fingertips. Our students don't want to come into the office anymore and look at printed materials, right? This is the ability to engage at a much, much higher level with not only collegiate programs and all different kinds of things on the college end, but really just building that career awareness and exploration, videos about different job titles, different areas that they may not have been aware of. That's part of our job as well, is to ensure that we are really painting a picture of the vast amount of opportunities that truly exist for our students, especially at Columbia High School. Not to brag, but we have a wonderful course catalog of fantastic courses. So there really is something for everybody at Columbia High School. Another couple of questions on the personal finance, online personal finance class. Mr. Sanchez sent out information on the fall offering. There'll be a second opportunity in the spring. And then I do believe we provide an opportunity in the summer as well. But the summer is one where it's not for free. Am I getting that correct, Mr. Sanchez?
Oh, students. Okay. So maybe I'll send out a reminder in the next few days of how you can meet your 21st. Basically, in 2009, the state of New Jersey said, whoa, after this, financial meltdown, we need to educate our students in personal finance. So there is a 2.5 credit mandatory financial literacy graduation requirement. When I say 2.5, that means it's a semester length. That's the minimum, right? And you can meet that in like a myriad of ways here at Columbia High School. You can take the online personal finance course. You can take an in-person personal finance course. You can take any of our business classes that we offer. You can even take AP Economics senior year, which is a full year course. But if you want to take online personal finance, that is offered for free online, first semester in the fall and spring semester. Some kids want to do it over the summer. I just don't have teachers available to grade everything. So that comes with a cost. It just comes with the cost of paying a teacher to do the assignments, right? But it's online. Now, you might say, why do I want an online course? In my former district, I kind of made it mandatory that every student had to take one online course, just because I wanted students to have that, because it might blow your mind, but I think the last time I looked at the stat, it was like 35% of students who live on campus have to take an online course, which I think is mind blowing, right? We're not talking about like commuter colleges or whatever. We're talking about a third of students who we're paying to live there, dorm and food. They have to take an online course. So I think it's a good skill. Anyway, but so that's what the financial literacy thing is. There's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. Although that's probably not a nice thing to say. Sorry.
Absolutely. A couple of other questions that have come into the chat. A parent asked a really good question about if classes would be added for the second half of the year. If your child has a study hall and they would like to add an additional class to partner with a half-year course for semester one, by all means, ask your child to come down to counseling, and we will, now that things have calmed down just a smidge, we will make sure that we look through some of those options with your child and be able to find something that will be a really great fit. Another parent asked, how frequently is Power School updated? I am assuming you mean grade book in terms of teacher grade book. And that kind of varies across the different departments and teachers.
I could answer that.
Please,
It
yes.
should be every week, right? But the issue is when we say every week, Power School is our student information system, and Canvas is our learning management system, right? And they should be syncing every week. So Power School is where your child's grades are the most, I want to say, current. That's where they are. We take attendance and our grades are there. Some teachers grade, obviously, some assignments on Power School. And when they grade it by Friday, they are to move those grades into Power School. So I hope that helps. Again, Power School is updated every day, but we need teachers to sync the grades from Canvas into Power School if that's what they're using. So I hope that answers that question. And we are already talking about budget for next year, which blows my mind. And we're talking about program of studies. So the program of studies is updated in the next 2 months. By December, Dr. Antone and I kind of scrub it, and we ask for the board approval of that, or central office and the Board of Education members to check it out by January. So by the end of January, early February, our current juniors, rising seniors, will start to register for next year, and so will your children. So to kind of answer that question, we're working on the program of studies already, and we will have it updated and done by January. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And parents, if you are concerned that you're not seeing those updates happen, I'm seeing that a little bit in the chat. We want to support you in that. Please make sure that you email your child's teacher and start there. Always start with the teacher, and hopefully that we can get that information to you ASAP. Okay, and in terms of 21st century life and career, we do have the online personal finance class offered in the summertime. And although we haven't quite gotten around to talking about summer programming as of yet, as Mr. Sanchez said, we are working out what's needed for the spring. We will absolutely provide an update on that as soon as possible. Usually summer programming, we look at that more in December and January. Okay. And a good reminder, back to school night is this Thursday at 7 p.m. We look forward to seeing you there, and you will get a chance to meet all of your child's teachers, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Question about when can we meet the counselor to go over college courses and to have in-depth one-on-one with students. So I will tell you, families, one-on-one about college may be a little bit early in the sophomore year, only because students can't apply to colleges really until August of their senior year, the August before their senior year. However, we are going to have those in-depth conversations junior year as well as the very beginning of senior year. Right now, our counselors are working one-on-one with their seniors as we speak, doing those senior meetings. But certainly we can have an overview conversation to the parent that asked that question. We can certainly have an overview conversation. I'm happy to meet with you if you have questions about the track, the goal setting that we are doing right now as your child is a sophomore. And we can also have a conversation as it gets a little bit closer to scheduling time. As Mr. Sanchez said, the program of studies will be available to parents in January for hopefully a January start to some of those, to that course request time where students are thinking about their schedules for next year. So if you do have a question and you want some one-on-one time to make sure that your child is all set, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or the counselor, and we would be very happy to have that conversation and that meeting.
Oh, and I will say this, just so you know, that we have a 10th grade, we have a grade level assistant principal for each grade level. For 10th grade, we have Miss Talia Bennett, who is one of our English teachers, who will be transitioning into the role. It's been taking a little while because I need to find an excellent English teacher for her to be replaced. So in the meantime, all the other assistant principals and myself have been sharing that role. So if there are any questions, if you have any issues, I think with attendance, Ms. Banner is the person to go to. I think you've been getting those kind of emails probably. But if you could email me directly if there are any questions or concerns. But again, the 10th grade assistant principal will be Ms. Talia Bennett. We're just waiting for a replacement. We just don't want to, move forward without an excellent English teacher to replace her. So again, that's why maybe you don't see our Miss Bennett here tonight. She's grading papers probably.
Absolutely.
And the counselors, so I don't have access to the parent portal, but I think when you open up parent portal and you see and you open up to your child's, the counselor's name will appear, right? So freshman counselors, we had just 2 counselors overseeing all 500 freshmen, right? That's not the case. Your child will have the same counselor from sophomore through senior year. The counselors' names are there on parent portal, right? Parent portal. It's not going to be just Mr. Clyburn or Ms. McDowell. I mean, it could be, but we have 4 other counselors who, among the 6 of them, who are 10th through 12th grade counselors. So that's how you'll find out who their names are. And if you can't find it, then just email Dr. Antone and she'll be able to help you with that. Okay.
Absolutely. Just include your child's name. So I give you the correct information and I will get you the name of your child's counselor and their email right away.
Yes. All right. I think those were the big questions. So, all right. Well, everyone, we have about 500 students per grade. That is about 1,990 students in the entire high school, and about 500 for sophomore year. So, all right. Well, everyone, good night. The Yankees are going to be on in about a couple minutes. Let's cheer them on together. Let's harness our chi and hope for a victory tonight. Okay, everyone?
Thank you all. Have a wonderful
All right.
evening.
Good night,
Take care,
everybody.
everyone.
Good night. Take care.